You're supposed to put the first 500 in the safe and lose the combination.
Hey yo, what is up guys? It's your boy Kev. Welcome back to yet another exciting video, and in this video we're going to be analyzing USDT and NASDAQ using the smart money concept, and I'm going to be showing you guys how simple it is and how you guys could also do the same thing to actually simplify your charts but still be able to get some quality trades within the market. Now the very first thing that you want to do, I want us to go onto our weekly chart to see what the market actually did. I like starting on the bigger time frames because they actually give us the overall direction of what the market is doing. So we can clearly see that this is the candle that actually formed this week. Initially price was in an uptrend making higher highs and higher lows, and it was when price actually broke this key level right here and made a lower low and came back for a lower high, and after this lower high price continued pushing to the downside. And currently what I'm seeing is that price broke this key level right here. You can clearly see that price made multiple touches right here. So this was a very strong support level that price actually broke with this weekly candle. Price pushed below it, closed, and that is usually a very strong indication that the market wants to continue pushing to the downside. This would be our reasonable target when we are taking sales to push with the market to the downside. So we know that price currently broke our very strong key level. It broke structure. Like I always say, that a break of structure is a rebuttable presumption that the market will continue in that specific direction unless it actually starts pushing to the upside. But if it is within our selling range, that's when we're going to focus on sales to push with the market to the downside. Currently we see that the market broke with this nice bearish candle right here, which serves as an indication that the market will continue pushing to the downside. The very next thing that you want to do is hop onto smaller time frames. I would then go to a 1 hour chart to see what the market actually did right there. So we can clearly see that we had this key level that price actually broke. So this is a key level that price actually broke. This would have been a nice buy if price came to this level and changed in character. If price actually came to this level and changed in character and gave us an inverse head and shoulders, that's when and only when I would actually take a buy to push with the market to the upside. But we can clearly see that price was struggling to break structure. We had key levels right here that price was unable to break. If price actually tempered with these levels right here, I would have known that we are starting to look for buys because price is giving us buying momentums within the market. So from here we can clearly see that the market actually broke this level, but this wouldn't have served as a very strong indication that we are pushing to the downside. Instead, I would have waited for the market to actually break this low right here, and when price actually broke that low, that served as my indication that we could be starting to look for pushes to the downside. And the very next thing that you want to do is hop onto an even smaller time frame so that the market actually gives you nice and clear details as to what it is doing. I always say that after a break of structure, this is a break of structure. What you want to do next is to highlight your most recent lower highs, 2 most recent lower highs, and those are the levels that you want to look out for when the market is actually making its corrective move. So we had an impulsive move, a corrective move, an impulsive move, and these 2 levels, so this level right here is the first level that you want to look out for when you are looking for a retest before the market continues pushing to the downside, and this level right here is your second level that you want to look out for. So if price shows some weakness at this level, that's when we're going to take sales to push with the market to the downside. But if price actually breaks this level, this is the second level that we're going to be looking at before we start taking our pushes to the downside. But we can clearly see that price came to our very first level and it started weakening. So it made a higher high, a higher high, a higher low, and a higher high, and it broke our level right here. So there was a break of structure. When price actually broke this is also very similar to a break of a counter trend line. So if we had this as a counter trend, we see that the market actually broke that level, and this would have been a beautiful short position to push with the market to the downside. And as to what the market is actually doing, we can clearly see that price actually came to this level and it just started ranging, and it is now coming back to this key level right here. So what could either happen at this point is for the market to actually come to this level, show some kind of weakness before we continue pushing with the market to the downside, or price would actually break above this level. So price could break above this level, give us some kind of correction before it continues pushing with the market to the upside. So there are two scenarios that we're looking at on the US30. So this coming week, we're just going to be watching very closely as to what the market is actually doing. If it shows some kind of weakness at that key level, that's when we're going to take our short positions to push with the market to the downside. But if it actually shows some strong bullish movements to the upside, we're going to take our buys to push with the market to the nearest high. So this would be our nearest TP, and if it keeps breaking that, we will continue pushing with the market until we get to this level right there. But for the time being, I'm looking at a very nice short position to the downside. So let's look at NASDAQ, what it actually did and where it could potentially be moving in this coming week. Again, first we're going to be starting on the weekly chart to see what the market actually did and how it was moving. The weekly chart gives us direction, and when I actually mark this candle like this, I can clearly see that the market was making higher highs and higher lows pushing up, but this lower high right here might just be indicating that the market is weakening and starting to push to the downside. But that is also misleading because sometimes price actually makes lower highs like this before it breaks and continues pushing to the upside. So this is not conclusive evidence for me to know that the market wants to push to the downside. But what I see is that price was actually operating at this very strong key level right here. So we had a very strong demand zone right here, and our very last candle actually closed at our support level. So since we closed at a support level, if price actually breaks structure to the upside, we're going to start looking for buys to push with the market to the upside. But if price actually broke this support level to the downside, that's when we would have looked for sells to push with the market to the downside to the nearest low right here. So when I actually hop onto our 1 hour chart, that's when you would see that price was actually breaking structure. So we had structure right here that was broken by the market. So we had higher highs and higher lows, and price actually broke structure right here, which was an indication that we could be looking for further pushes to the upside. When you are looking for further pushes to the upside, you want to mark your two most recent higher lows, and it would have been this one and this one right here. And you want to watch how the market is actually reacting at those levels. We can clearly see that when price actually came to this level on a smaller time frame, it would have given us nice reversals to push with the market to the upside. And when we actually hop onto our 30-minute chart, I just want to show you guys something. Price actually came to this level and it pushed up. It came again to this level, and this served as a nice inverse head and shoulders before we could have taken our buys to push with the market. But right after that, price broke this key level right here and continued pushing down, and it went to this key level right here. We know that once we actually have a break of structure, that is a rebuttable presumption that the market will continue pushing to the upside. Price actually broke structure impulsively to the upside. It came back to this key level right here, and that's when it started pushing all the way to the upside. When the news also came, they retested this level and price continued pushing to the upside. So what I actually see on US 100 is that price actually broke structure again, which is a rebuttable presumption that the market will continue pushing to the upside. What I would love to see going into this week is for the market to actually continue pushing up and coming back to a key level, which would be our recent higher low. And when I actually see a change in character, that's when I would take my buys to push with the market. Sometimes this would be aligned with my trend line. So if I draw my trend line like this, the market would also come to this level right here to give me my change in character before it continues pushing with the market to the upside. But for the time being, I know that price actually broke structure, which implies that it wants to continue pushing to the upside. So what I'm going to be waiting for is for price to actually give me a nice corrective move so that I can look for a change in character and continue pushing with the market to the upside. This will only be invalidated if price actually breaks this key level right here. So if price actually comes to this level and breaks like this, that's when I know that we're going to have sells to push with the market to the downside. I hope you guys actually enjoyed this video. I am actually planning on making similar videos like these where I actually go into what happened the current week and what is a possibility on the next coming week. And I also believe that these types of videos will actually show you guys how I approach the charts and how I actually analyze my charts and how I apply the strategies that I actually present to you guys. You guys will also see that I do use these specific strategies, and I am not just presenting them to you and not using them in my personal trades. And I will also keep you guys updated as to what actually happened on these specific indices and what the market actually did. Hopefully by the end of the week, we're gonna have a closer look at what actually happened and how we could have entered the trades and what we could have avoided. This has been another special, beautiful video. I hope to catch you guys on the next one. If you were watching for the first time, please do make sure that you subscribe, because I am going to drop regular content where I'm going to be showing you guys how to approach the charts and also better your trading if you are still struggling. Smash that like button and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
You're supposed to put the first 500 in the safe and lose the combination.